Hi.
Hi.
Does this need to be higher? Is this light okay? You look very, very pale.
No. Because you are
look
a raisin.
very pale. Well, I am you know what? You're a pale. You're a golden raisin.
Well, I'm pale because
black
I
raisin.
have not been in the sun like you.
And trying to rehabilitate my knee. What is that? Is that food? On the screen.
This is the thing Sabrina Hossein is asking Jamaicans, how do you eat meat patties?
With cocoa bread, it's just too much. It's too much. I didn't even know that was a thing until
I didn't either. I've never seen anybody eat a patty with cocoa bread, but she has a picture of it on here, and she's saying a non-Jamaican friend asked, how do you eat a Jamaican patty without getting burned by the filling?
Also, why do they deliberately squish all the filling out?
Right. So she said, I told them there's a technique to it. If I have cocoa bread with it, I squeeze some of the meat onto the bread so that when I bite into it, the meat doesn't squeeze out too much. To my Jamaican friends, what's the best way? Okay, so here's what you do. You get your meat patty, and then you bite the end, and you let the steam out, and then you blow in that little hole. That's a good idea. That's what I've always done. Somebody said, just like hot cheese on pizza, roof, mouth burn, it's worth it. No, it's not. Somebody says squeeze the meat in the bag, then lick out the bag. That's what I used to do growing up before I could eat hot food. Sandwich with a hot dog bun. Anyway, okay. Not anyway to you. I'm saying anyway to that comment. I bite and I whoosh air in and out of my mouth, which I howl like a white cave. So I bite it, I go, and that cools it off. That's how I've always eaten. But then you look silly. I don't care. I bite up a little bit and then go. Your way is good. And then she asked, what do you eat the patty with? And some people, what do you drink with the patty? And some people put ting, champagne ting. You know they make pink ting now? Mm. I mean, not now. I'm late because I don't drink soda. I haven't had soda in a long time. Well, pink ting was just it's like pink champagne. I know it was going to come. It was something that was going to come. It was going to happen. Right. It was just going to. It was going to happen. Right. Because people like soft pink, look colored, drinky things. Yeah. Like your glasses are soft pink. They are. I can't. Well, I'm not that I can't find my other set of glasses, but this is my first pair of glasses from a few years ago, and now I have to wear glasses all the time. Not all the time, but anytime I'm reading anything. You want to know why? Because my dad wears glasses and you wear glasses and you all messed it up. Because you're old now. Okay. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Hi, Terry B. and Michelle Renee. And blessings abundantly. Patty and cocoa bread, the best combination. Hi, Jay. Okay. So, why don't I turn it over to Golden Raisin over here, and then you can... Wait now, hang on. Whatever. Hang on. Well, because you've been gone for ever. I know, but that doesn't mean that my name is Golden Raisin. It is Golden Raisin. You called me just a straight raisin. You said, I feel like, why are you so pale? Why are you so pale? You look pale. And I said, because you are a raisin from. And I said you're a golden raisin. Golden raisins are good. Yeah, but that's not my name, Golden Raisin. I'm willing to accept it as a, Golden Raisin, please proceed with your past. With my travels. Yeah. So what? So first of all, tell everybody where you've been. I say you're nice and tan, Dr. Imani. Thank you. Thank you, Michelle Renee. So that's for you. Also, thank you, Michelle Renee, for always DMing me on Instagram about any of the latest Ghostface happenings. I appreciate that. Hey, Lenora. Hi. It's my play cousin. So what did you do? What have you been doing with yourself? So I took Idris to New York and Martha's Vineyard. Oh yeah, that's right. Part of his graduation gift. That was after Idris punked you into making you take him to Martha's Vineyard. What do you mean? Because when I told him, I was like, yeah, well, the house, whatever, is being sold, and he was like, I need to talk to my grandma. You didn't know that? Oh yeah, he was high key pissed. And then I was like, okay. And then he was like, I need to talk to my grandma. Well,
And then he talked
we've
to
been
you
discussing
and-
it forever, and he said this will be the second year I haven't gone. I said, well, only because of COVID, why we didn't go.
Right.
I said, but your cousins are up there, and if you want, I can, book us. First, we'll go to New York. You can see your dad, your abuelita, and your brother, and then we'll go up to Martha's Vineyard. He said, okay.
Right.
So now I didn't know about being punked.
No, he was just like, okay, first of all, everybody needs to have a seat. I need to call my grandmother right now because she is lost her mind. I was like, okay, go ahead and talk to her. And then he was like, I'm going to New York. I was like, of course you are, because
you're your grandmother's favorite.
Well, I mean, he is your only grandchild.
Well, and therefore, so we did that. We had a wonderful time.
Wonderful time.
We stayed at the base of the Manhattan Bridge in Chinatown.
Okay.
That was a good spot to operate from. And he spent his first day, what did he tell you, 5 slices of pizza?
Yeah, I got constipated, but he had fun.
No, he was constipated before he left. We had that conversation. So, and I was like,
but that's because he was on
5 slices of pizza?
That's because he was on a plane. Like, that happens to me too.
That doesn't happen to me. So anyway, he had, because his goal was to go to New York, eat pizza, and ride the subway. He didn't get to ride the subway.
He rode the subway.
I rode the subway. I was all over on the subway.
Where'd you go?
On the subway?
Yeah, where'd you go?
I was down on the Bowery, and I took the subway.
It's different now, huh? It's very commercialized.
What, the Bowery?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like it's commercialized, but the side streets, Pell Street,
still raggedy.
Sidewalks that are this wide. It's Chinatown,
Okay.
So there's only but so much.
Right.
What do you call it? Gentrification that can happen inside the blocks, right?
Right.
And a lot of those buildings are owned by people families that came to Chinatown a couple of generations ago. So we roamed around that for a while, and we went to have food, but with him and his, and Subway. So I went up to Harlem to, what's it called? Not Harlem Cafe. It's on 117th Street and 8th Avenue. Can't remember the name of it.
Oh, I don't know.
And I met my girls, some of the big girls up there, and and then I took the subway back down to Grand Street. And then I took the subway, and then we took the bus. Pat and I took the bus from 87th and Park to, where did we go? Oh, over to the west side so that we could then get another bus get the subway up to Harlem, because the transfers.
Right.
So, but what was interesting, the different feeling. Oh, are you tired?
I did a lot of stuff today, but I'm sorry, go ahead.
The different feeling, because being damn near born, but certainly raised on the subways in New York. I wasn't born on the subway, but my whole life was a subway.
I hope not.
There's just some things that you now no longer would do, right? Like, ain't nobody walking over to the edge to look out to see when the train is coming. You're just not doing that anymore. Whereas that's what
why? Because they tell you when the train's coming?
No, because because what happened not too long ago.
Sorry, hold on.
You and your camera.
I know I charged it. I don't understand why it's acting this way.
Your camera may need to be returned.
Yeah, I think so.
I just think you got a bad one.
No.
So no,
Sorry.
So I was we're not leaning over because of the numbers of mentally ill and angry people who are now on the streets and in the subways multiplied. Oh, the numbers of instances being pushed
they're pushing
on the
people?
Of course, it's like I won't call it an epidemic, but it's happening a lot. So
pushing people. Oh, that okay.
Push people onto the tracks.
You know what? No,
right?
no.
And the thing is that before it was not be a big deal to be standing on the platform.
No, I would
and have
always
other people,
look.
and well, have other people even next to you.
Right.
It's like, oh, you know, I'm gonna go stand over you.
But I typically
because
would,
I'm watching you in case you approach me.
But
You're
see,
not going to have enough time
this
to
is
push
why
me.
I would always, not always, but I would usually be in like the front of the car, or the back of the car.
Yeah, see, Lenora,
because I don't
my play cousin who grew up with us. I don't even ride the subways anymore, Paula. There's a lot of people.
I knew people who just don't. Yeah,
right,
I was like,
but
how do you get around?
I'm saying, but remember that during the pandemic, they made all the buses in New York free.
Oh,
right. So they were
big up to the M7.
That was our bus.
That was my bus.
So the point of this is that they were trying to make transportation and stuff easy. I think the subways, which for my whole life were 24/7.
Yeah,
they shut them to like 22 or 20 hours a day. And so in the overnight, when a lot of people go to and from work, right, or to and from parties, or to and from mischief, whatever, right, but the subways are busy all the time. They shut them down for about 4 hours, and I think it was for cleaning. Right. So they had to steam clean and blah, 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 right, all the time. So subway usage is very different. And what's wild is that when I would land in New York and I would get like a Lyft or an Uber from JFK, mm-hmm, to Midtown or to Chinatown or wherever the hotel I'm staying in, mm-hmm, it would cost maybe $60, right, $70. Now it's $130 just for. But even
to go where though?
Even here, if I take an Uber or a Lyft, mm-hmm, to the airport, it used to be, when it first started, it was like $33. Mm-hmm. Then it got to be around $60. Sorry. Now it's about $110.
You mean because of inflation?
Because it's in pandemic time, because they can charge.
Oh, surge, yeah.
Well, surge must be all the time now. It's not even, between the hours of 3 and 6. It's like, it's always surge. So in any case, I had a wonderful time in New York. Mostly I was in Harlem and
Have you seen a new Whole Foods?
Chinatown.
It's not that it's new to me, but have you seen the Whole Foods?
Where?
It's apparently
in Harlem.
Yeah, I think it's on Lenox and 25th Street.
I haven't seen it.
Oh.
But next
I could be wrong now.
But a guy who I'm getting into business with built that one. But Idris went to 5 different pizza parlors to eat cheese pizza. His dad took him. So he went to Patty's on First Avenue and 119th Street. Remember that one?
I do, yeah.
Because
they had a jukebox, yeah.
So he went to Patty's. He went to one in the Village. I don't know which one. They went out to Coney Island to eat pizza. They went to his father's neighborhood in Brooklyn and somewhere else. But Idris was so happy.
Coney Island, somewhere.
No, I said Coney Island, but there was, I don't know if it was another place in Brooklyn. But he was all over, and he was feeling much like, a New York City boy. So we're going back.
Oh yeah, he's going back.
We're going back to New York for just under a week. And he'll get his fill, and I'll be running around. I have one of my elderly cousins who's almost 90.
Yeah.
Who I'm going to go see, and
I miss my moons though.
Girls. Miss your who's?
My moons. Did you ever eat there? I mean, it's by Washington Square Park. It's on McDougal Street. It's a falafel place. So good.
No.
I actually read this article recently about Washington Square Park and how it is wild. Like, it's like they have raves and stuff out there. And somebody got stabbed and people are openly using drugs. Like, I remember back when
they were openly using drugs when I was a kid in Washington Square.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, y'all.
It's like a drug bazaar.
Yeah, it's like, you guys are really tripping. I'm sorry. I'm going to switch my camera because apparently this is not working. And sorry. Here we are. Hold on. I'm gonna fix this.
To, what is it?
This is so annoying.
People Every Day by Arrested Development.
Why? I hate that song.
I love that song.
Oh my God. If I ever have to hear that song again. Sorry.
It's a little, it's not as good as the slide version, Everyday People.
But
I like it.
I can't, sorry, I have to turn this up. I can't deal with, I never liked Arrested Development. I kind of like Mr. Wendell a little bit, but outside of that, I'm like, nah, I'm cool. Like, I can't. Like, I don't want to. And then, you know what's so weird is that, what was the name of the guy the lead person speaks something? I don't know. Probably with the Z. Like a few years ago. Speech.
I think it was Speech. Right.
Apparently, this little nerd dude was just out and about cheating on his wife all over the place, probably just hotepping and, you know, giving women incense and nature's blessings and
I'm certain.
Shit.
I had to explain to Idris what a hotep was.
Oh yeah, he told me. But he said that you told him that his dad is kind of a hotep.
Really kind of is.
Yeah, his dad is, yeah. Well, yeah.
You picked him.
I didn't know him very well.
Mm.
Anyway, Lenore said my cast name is Mr. Wendell. I sing that song to him all the time.
See?
No, I mean, that's the only song I really like, but it wasn't. When Arrested Development came out, I was like, I want for you all to stop. The thing that, one of the good things about Arrested Development was Dion Ferris.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so let's hear about your experience with.
Hold on, sorry.
Oh
no, because Brandon said turn this on and then press the record button. So I just want to make sure, because I'm like, there's no reason why this should be acting up.
Is it recording now?
Oh, good. You know, thanks for. Is it recording? Is this the record button?
No, it's
recording. Now it's recording.
So does that mean it's working now and would stop?
I think so. So let's adjust. I'm not the, what do they call it? AV? What do they call it?
I don't know, but sometimes you just learn before the actual event. It's called preparation.
Okay, I just want to say something that all you usually have to do is show up. I booked a whole guest by myself.
When, your boyfriend?
No, I'm talking about dude. Remember dude that came on and about the plantation and everything? I did that.
Oh, I'm glad.
You know what? This is why. Anyway.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
Or as I've seen on not Pose. What's the one? Legendary?
Yes. Okay, you need to yourself.
I love when they go like, they got, oh yeah, talons like you, and they're doing this. When you were little, for me, that was making dragons, shadow. This was a dragon or a fox. But this was not. This was not applause.
I wish you would leave. Okay, this says Lenore said that she saw Uncle Howard this weekend.
Oh, okay. Oh, he was in New York for his ex's funeral. The memorial.
Oh,
service.
yeah. Okay. That's why Lene was like, oh, it took us forever to get from whatever to 79th Street.
Well, she had asked me because they were having something, I don't know whether the service, but the burial was in the Bronx.
Yeah, I saw it.
And she was asked when I was in the vineyard, she was like, oh, Paula, you know, where else would everybody stay in the Bronx? I said, the Bronx? She said, why do you have to stay in the Bronx?
Why don't you just, you
so
could
she
drive
said,
there.
well, because that's where, the funeral and everything's going to be.
So you have to stay in the Bronx?
I said, God made vehicles for transportation.
God made the subway.
Why would you why on earth would you stay in the Bronx? I said, it ain't like you want to stroll and go find something. She said, I know. My kids are like, why are we staying there? I said, listen.
Why? What?
I said, there's a hotel in Harlem.
Yeah, like, I don't understand.
I said, there's a hotel in Upper Manhattan. She said, well, I think I'm going to book a place in Upper Manhattan and then drive up there. And I said,
yeah, take an Uber. Yeah.
I think that's wise. So I guess my recommendation worked, provided you don't have one of those storms of the century that floods all the highways and keeps people. They had a picture of a woman wading down the subway steps.
No, I saw somebody who put
to get on the train.
Yeah, I saw somebody who put.
It stopped recording.
I know. I don't understand what's wrong with this stupid camera.
Maybe we should just go back to the laptop.
Okay, I'm just gonna go back to the laptop. Sorry, this is really annoying.
This thing has got to be defective, and it's Sony.
But it was working initially.
And what's that little fuzzy thing? Well, it was
that's
working
for the microphone.
No, it was working when Brandon was here.
It was, but now he's not here, so now it's just like, ugh. So yeah,
I love that.
Don't. Okay. Anyway, sorry. I tried it. I really do try.
Now, I would like to bring up for you.
Yes.
Oh God, we're back to using the camera?
No, I'm turning the
light
this
up?
lighting is terrible. Yeah. What?
So why don't you tell the people your experience with a member of the Wu-Tang Clan?
I didn't meet a member of the Wu-Tang Clan.
You met a member of the Wu-Tang Clan. I
met the Wu-Tang Clan's manager, he was very nice.
Right.
Shouts out to
the Wu-Tang Clan.
Tafiq. Sorry. Right. I kept messing up his name the whole time. I kept wanting to call him Tafiq because I have a friend named Tariq.
It's Tafiq.
Tafiq.
Today
he kind of looked like a leprechaun, didn't he? I mean, in a good way. No, he did.
He was just a heavy bearded.
No, he was light skinned. He had like red hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't mean that in a bad way. He was really, really nice.
He was very nice.
He was very nice.
And he brought Park Hill shirts.
He brought some Park Hill shirts.
And Roosevelt put his on this morning saying, wow, this is really good fabric.
It is nice fabric.
He said, this isn't even cheap fabric. This is a nice shirt. I said, well, all right. He said, what is Park Hill? I was like, oh. I said, well, that's the neighborhood in Staten Island where they come from. And by the way, let me just go on record as saying,
I've only been to Staten Island once, and it was terrible.
I went to Staten Island once, and it was terrible. Not counting the time I took
racist.
the ferry over and back, just because I wanted to go past the Statue of Liberty. And
I know you made us go.
And it was like $2.50, it was a subway. It was like the subway
I thought
fare.
It was a quarter.
It could have been.
Yeah, it was a quarter.
It was something like that, but I wasn't taking the special ferry to Liberty and Ellis Island. I ain't paying that kind of money. So we were maybe 900 feet away, and we just waved at the Statue of Liberty as it was there doing this.
There was one time.
Give me your tire, give me your poor.
I don't know why you waved at that one, man.
He's a very nice brother.
He's really nice.
And is probably, I would say, Wu-Tang is probably the only good thing that I know that came out of Staten Island.
The only thing I know about Staten Island is Italians, racist cops who live there. Basically, it's like the racist stopover, and before you get to Jersey,
right?
Most of
the cops will live in like just outside of New York, north of the city, right. And if that got too black for them, because black folks followed them.
Staten Island, it is.
No. Staten Island was always their enclave.
Oh, okay.
So if they were moving out of New York City proper, they'd go slightly north. Like above. First it was Mount Vernon, and of course we own Mount Vernon now.
Well, yeah,
then it was Yonkers, and we took over Mount Vernon. Now a lot of Dominicans and stuff are there.
Really? I bet the food there is. I'm not that it wasn't good before, but
it's like White Plains. And then farther north and farther north. But if they were going to stay in New York City proper, Staten Island was their place. So we didn't go to Staten Island.
What's the name? Yeah, of course you know.
Although my brother's first ex-wife was Miss Black Staten Island. When I met her, I said, why? Black people live on Staten Island?
Also, don't marry. You know what? It doesn't matter. Whatever. I had no input in this.
It lasted, I don't know, a couple of years. She got a whole lot.
You took her bag though. I remember you.
Yeah, she got some Parisian lifestyle accoutrement bags.
Uncle Elric would marry Miss Staten Island. Oh, man. Okay.
But she was an admin at TWA. That's how he met her. I know. And it was so lame. I said, well, how did you meet? He said, well,
I worked there. She does too.
No, he was the overseas controller. He worked in Paris, right? So when he'd come over to do whatever business happened at the TWA building, She was one of the secretaries, and she. Listen, don't get me started on my brothers. And she was one of the secretaries, and I said, "Well, how did you meet her?" And he said, "Well, something, something, something." And one day she had flowers waiting for me. She bought me flowers. I said, "You fell for that shit?" I said, are you kidding me?
Why are you okay?
So
he's not here though.
So after I married your bio dad,
yes,
about 2 months later, he marries this woman.
No, I remember seeing a picture, and you looked like type irritated.
I was beyond irritated.
Well, I mean, but do you like anybody?
I do.
No, I'm saying that your brothers have been with. I mean, granted,
I do. I like Coral.
The taste has been really nice.
Whose taste has been really?
I mean, both of them.
That's why I said, don't get me started on my brothers.
Yeah, I mean,
I like Coral.
Coral's cool.
Right.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There you go.
Coral's a businesswoman.
Right.
Ask me how many businesswomen they historically, that's not usually their genre.
Well, Ricky was.
I'm expecting flames to come down and burn.
Well, she did make really good desserts. That's all I have to say.
Do 1,000.
That's all I have to say. Okay.
In the city of Los Angeles.
Okay. The other thing I was going to say about Staten Island is that Big Ange, R.I.P., was from Staten Island. I really liked Big Ange.
I don't even understand that. Her lips were as big as her breasts.
No, she was just like a personality. Like she was just,
Did she like you? Do you think?
Probably.
Oh, so she was okay with black people?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that's the Staten Island crowd.
I know, but I mean, also Big Ange liked attention. So like, I don't think she cared. I don't think she cared. Okay, so there really isn't a whole lot going on, so we can just kind of like
I got stuff to talk. What about that chick? What's her name? Rachel Nichols.
Who?
The ESPN Karen who was complaining and got recorded on video.
What's her name? Rachel
Nichols, Nichols.
Oh, it popped up right here when I typed in Rachel. She began modeling while attending Columbia in the late 90s.
Well, that's not the one to look at.
It says
she's not an actress.
Oh, she's not an actress.
Okay. Look at her and Maria. What was Maria's last name? Webster. So it's white girl angry because a former female basketball player was given more props than she was on ESPN for reporting on NBA basketball.
Wouldn't that make sense though anyway?
Well, it would have unless you're white, okay, and privileged. So she...
And this black woman is very pretty.
And she's a former ball player.
And this white woman is not cute. So...
And she...
That's why she
had been testing the ESPN equipment.
And a hot mic.
And she was talking to a dude named Mendelsohn, who works for LeBron James, who's a major consultant to LeBron James. Mendelsohn, as you might imagine, is probably a white Jewish man.
This woman's face and body looks like a sack of potatoes. And
she's lamenting how they took away her stuff and gave it to this black girl, Maria. And, it's all because Maria's black. So I get that you ESPN want to promote whatever, but not at my expense. And Mendelsohn.
Whose expense? Does she own ESPN?
Let me finish. And Mendelsohn says something while listening, because this is a recorded conversation off air privately, but she didn't know the equipment was on. So she says what she says to Mendelsohn, who says, well, I am this, because this Black Lives Matter stuff is wearing me out. Oh yeah, this is LeBron James's dude, right? This happened about 8 months ago.
This is great.
It got recorded from the feed. The feed recorded it back at ESPN. Now the people,
oh my
the
God.
people in transmission are watching this. It ain't live, and
And
it
they're
ain't
like,
for
oh
air.
my
I mean,
God.
it's live. It's not for air.
But it's too late.
But
Everybody's
somebody, of course, watching it did this.
of course. That would be it.
So
That would
somebody
be me.
did that,
Like, what?
and then it started getting out inside the company, and then this sister got it to Maria. What's Maria's last name?
Taylor.
Maria Taylor. She sent it to Maria Taylor. They start questioning people. The sister admits she sent it to Maria Taylor. Guess where the sister is now? Unemployed. Guess who's still on the air?
The white one.
Rachel Nichols.
Okay, you
and
know
wait,
what?
but the interesting little tidbit of this is, why is her name Nichols? Because she is the daughter-in-law of Diane Sawyer of ABC News, owned by ESPN and
what's
Disney.
the name? Nichols. What's the name?
Mike Nichols, the former king of Broadway, right?
Okay.
So this is their daughter-in-law, and she's saying that the only reason why Maria Newman, a ball player,
and pretty and more knowledgeable,
and eloquent and knowledgeable, and has been at ESPN,
and now
right?
has a three. Well, she's could be worth $3 million at ESPN.
Well, she could be leaving,
right? And no, she has other offers,
right? She could be leaving, because who the H would stay around after you let Rachel?
Just say it.
Who the hell would let her stay? Why would she stay around? They kept Rachel. She's still on the air.
Nichols or whatever her name is.
She's still on the air. She's still gainfully employed. And
what's her Twitter so I can bother her?
I don't know, but everybody needs to share it with the people.
Let me find
you all
out
need to
Twitter.
read up on this, because this is like, so let's go to Sha'Carri.
Right. Who I love.
I don't enjoy nor use marijuana. I don't. I'm not, whatever.
Do.
However, it's legal in much of this country. And they test the Jamaican athletes over and over again. Because in Jamaica, ganja ain't a thing. It ain't nothing.
But also, can I just say something real quick? When I used to go to Jamaica all the time, the majority of my friends from Jamaica did not smoke. Like they were like, no, I don't do that. But I know somebody who does.
And that's because when you get to a certain economic class in Jamaica,
like I'm not doing that.
It's discouraged. Your parents do not. The parents go, well, sure. You can have some. I personally have ganja in J. Ray and Nephew, which I've been steeping for
weed. Ganja.
Oh wait.
No, it's not on. I got weed perfume. It smells so good.
I've been steeping it in overproof rum for about 7 or 8 years now. Mm-hmm. And just like I steep the ground cola nuts for
that's when I gave you all those weed leaves.
Right. So what I'm saying is we are not beyond using it for all kinds of things, but a certain income level in Jamaica and educational level in Jamaica doesn't necessarily encourage their children to use weed. They just don't.
I'm writing to Rachel Nichols that you are a trash human.
Oh,
tweet.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So, so what happened to Sha'Carri is quite, I think, unsettling.
Yeah,
on top of the fact
and her mom died. Like, why can't she just smoke a joint?
Her mom died, and she learned of her mom's death from a reporter. Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna smoke an L in the middle of the Olympics if it's gonna be all like that.
She learned from a reporter. She wanted to know, well, how's she doing now that her mother died? She's like, what?
Yeah, don't do that.
Well, look, there's the people who are trained to do all kinds of look. So I was just thinking that this is a time where Black women are high on my discussion point, because Felicia Rashad,
she deleted those tweets so quick.
But everybody got them right here.
Well, right, but then Black people. What is the connection between Bill Cosby raping these women and drugging them, and him wanting to buy NBC, which was not going to happen anyway.
That was never going to happen.
I know, wasn't it? But I'm like, what is the connection? And second point,
meaning that they are paying him back because he was big enough to think he could buy NBC?
Maybe that's Negro logic. I don't know.
Because he was never big enough to buy NBC.
I don't know. Right. A. B.
Oprah ain't big enough to buy NBC.
Exactly.
They ain't selling NBC.
Okay, so here's the other number 2 question, Black people. That like that helps me because I sometimes don't understand Hotep or Negroidian logic, but that I'm thinking that's the connection. I don't get it. The other
and I'm all for a good conspiracy theory.
Yo, for sure, but I'm like, that man is a trash
that one is just crazy.
Human. Okay, so the second thing is, okay, this is not a proper argument. Well, Bill Cosby was just doing what a whole bunch of other people did.
Oh, really?
I don't understand why he had to get caught. Well, because and other people didn't. Well, as far as I know, Harvey Weinstein is still under the jail.
Under the jail.
Jeffrey Epstein is dead.
He's dead.
What's her name?
And did you see who they rolled into court for not paying attention and letting him hang himself? Black people. It was the black guards in the prison because they were supposed to check him every half hour.
You know what? I know they was like, anyway.
They were like, give me some weed.
Right. Anyway, I'm about to go eat. So
it was black. I
don't kill myself. Well, then I don't know what you're gonna do then.
So all right, and now we get so I paused on Felicia Rashad. That's all I'm saying. Howard University, a lot of the students and whatever are up in arms. They want her to not be dean, and I was very happy to choose her because it's wonderful. True. And how about Nicole Hannah-Jones and Ta-Nehisi Coates?
Oh, I know.
Right. It's like, oh, now you'll want to give me tenure after
we're going to hire this trash
over because I wrote 1619, a Pulitzer Prize winning look at the facts around slavery and racism and how it is indeed the biggest sin of the United States. But them Southerners, right, who were the trustees and stuff like, oh yeah, wait, no. That negress ain't coming here. So, and she ain't getting no tenure. So after all of this, I'm posting on Facebook and Twitter, where are the UNC alums? Y'all are letting this happen? You better rise up. Rising up happened, people went and whatever. She was like, no thank you. And on top of no thank you, if you have not read Nicole Hannah-Jones's explanation for why she would not go there, you got to find it and read her own words in total. She takes it apart. Why am I going to explain to them why they should have been fair to me? Y'all stay over there in your white privilege and deal with whatever madness you're going to deal with and the backlash. And now guess what? She and Ta-Nehisi Coates are doing what? Going to HU.
Yay. I had to explain to Idris, like, I guess it was a couple weeks ago when that whole Bill Cosby thing happened and everybody was in shock. I explained a lot of it to him before, but I was like, Idris, I just want you to consider this man has been raping women.
White women,
some women of color.
Just a couple.
Since the 60s.
Right.
I'm like, this man has drugged and raped.
Your cousin,
tens of thousands.
Your first cousin back in the day said that she knew a girl.
Who?
Lene said that she had a friend. When we were living in Harlem and people were working on A Different World and the Cosby Show and all that stuff.
You talking about?
Talking about Bill Cosby.
No.
Okay. One of Lene's friends was a kept woman by Bill Cosby, and the Lene's friend being probably 23, 24.
Right.
And at that point, Cosby had to be 60, 65.
Yeah.
So wait, Demario Bell said we should also address Ben Carson's comments he made today.
What was he talking about?
I don't know what Ben Carson said, but I put Ben Carson in the category of
he's a coon, so we don't even talk about him.
Well,
yes.
I don't read he went from all the stuff of being who he was, and then a minister, and then he beat his wife and all that. I just
He beat his wife. You mean
Yeah,
that
years
woman?
ago.
That woman who was singing?
I don't know who was singing years
You don't know?
ago.
Do you remember when he was trying to run for president and she was like, "Ooh"?
I remember that.
That's what I'm saying.
No. Ben Carson. Oh no, not Ben Carson. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the dude who is the. It's not Ben. Oh, you talking right? Ben Carson is the HUD. Was the HUD guy?
Yes.
Okay, What did Ben Carson say?
I don't know. Okay. Sorry.
He was tap dancing at that conference today.
Well, yeah.
Oh, you mean the conference that had Dump?
Wait, what did this say? I'm glad the left is pushing critical race theory because people are waking up. Oh,
Him and Uncle Clarence.
Oh, so y'all need some friends, huh?
Old Black Clarence.
Y'all listen, y'all Uncle Ruckus self better go somewhere because I'm not like you. Your black card ran out a long time ago.
Yeah, and Ben Carson did not beat his wife. That's
okay. I was like, that woman looked like he would stomp on him.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
with her uneven skirt, uneven skirt, him.
You are so terrible.
Listen.
Oh, he said that welfare was the worst thing that happened to Black people. I don't know why. You might as well tell that to the majority of people who use welfare, which is white people.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Anyway.
And I ain't advocate. I'm not, as a child who was raised on welfare, I'm not an advocate for nor against. I'm just saying why you, Ben Carson, got to link that to us. There's a whole lot of us, a whole lot of us who are not on welfare.
Yeah. Where's my tweet? I sent a tweet to, what's her name? That white woman?
Rachel.
I tweeted
Nichols.
her and said she's a trash human.
Okay. We still acting like Black people are the main recipient. Oh yeah, we are. We still acting like Black people are the main recipients.
Well, and that's so not that this has to do with Bill Cosby or any type of hotepery, but I just like it's those types of things that like if we can't get simple facts straight about the majority of people in this country are white. Therefore, the majority of people who are welfare recipients are white, right? If we can't get that straight, then yeah, like there's gonna be problems in terms of like, well, Bill Cosby, NBC.
What's
looming?
Like,
y'all gotta stop.
What's looming is that statement you just made. In about another 10 years, that ain't gonna be a fact anymore, and that's why they all acting up like this.
Why? Because he's gonna be dead.
No, the majority of people in the United States are not going to be white.
Yeah,
and that's what makes them lose their minds. They are. This is, I said this was all about tribalism. Let's gather all the white people together and hold back the colors and the people who kind of colored and what they call them now, BIPOCs.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm Black. I mean,
it took Idris and me to sit and explain to Roosevelt what cisgender means. Like, what is that?
Like, why?
So we said, well, you're cisgender. And he said, what does that mean? And then Idris went,
that's like a chemistry term, right?
No,
I mean, that's the only reason why I knew.
I
only knew it from organic chemistry, like cis and trans, like molecules. I was just like, how is what? Like, how am I cis hetero?
Idris said, Grandpa, it's when you are the gender, the sexual orientation that you actually were assigned at birth.
And we're trying to explain this to a Black man of a certain age.
We sit in the hot tub, and Roosevelt looked at him and said, "What?" I said, "Baby, you're cisgender male,
cis hetero.
You're cisgender male, and your pronouns are he and him.
Them. Right?"
He said, "What?"
Like, why?
He said. I said, "Well, that's because, contrary to all of the English grammar I have ever been taught." People who consider themselves more binary or fluid, that individual's pronoun is they and them. Singular they and them, not plural. They said, well, but they and them is plural. I said, now, not always.
No, but that's like, what? I read this article because I too was like, I don't want to change pronouns and all this stuff. But I read this article a couple months ago and it talked about how there have been genderless pronouns,
right,
from like hundreds of years ago,
right,
and we instinctively use they and them, like if you see somebody, if you don't know the person, it's like, oh,
Right.
what they talking about?
Right. And but the thing is that in the world in which I practiced my trade for many years, which is that of journalism, and
Grammar.
you use AP style book, right? He and him,
Yeah.
she and her, we and us,
Y'all.
it, they and them.
In Texas, when we used to conjugate verbs, we could, for the second person plural, we could say y'all.
Because in Texas, they also say ara.
Okay, but I'm saying that was at a black school. This was when I was at a white school, and we could say like, y'all.
For you all.
Yeah,
For
y'all.
You.
It's you plural.
The collective you. You is singular and you is also plural.
Y'all is plural.
So people would say you all, which you don't need to say. It's repetitive. It's redundant. And then the contracted version is y'all, for you all.
Blood Honey said that most African languages have genderless pronouns. Patois does too. Yeah,
that's right.
I believe that.
And that is how, when they would put us down for so-called Ebonics, when in fact,
that's how we speak.
The linguistics of that, when you translate many Western African nations to English, the same sentence structure for so-called Ebonics, we be going. Right. What he say? It's those are like, and I said was explained to Roosevelt. That's like when I met you, you'd say, "Well, I'm going to make groceries."
Because
I stared at him.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, let me look at the French because he's from New Orleans. So the translation from French to English, the translation is make groceries. Same thing. But they will swoon over, oh my God, you speak French?
I'm like, y'all talking French right now.
But when we speak the basis of our West African rooted languages, it's like, oh, y'all are ignorant. Ooh, let's put you with special ed because y'all don't know how to talk. It's like,
I very much know how to speak. I speak 2 languages, you raggedy trash human. So if you really like, and honestly, that actually helped me with my job. Like, I mean, if you think that I'm not talking to criminals and people who have, I'm like, oh, okay, so what was they talking about? I'm not gonna be like, so what were they saying? No. I'm like, so what's up? What you got going on? So anyway.
It helps to be multilingual.
It does help to be it helps to know different. We talked about this already. And it helps to know, like, it helps to have friends of different ethnicities too.
It does.
Yeah. Because Black people, everybody is not Chinese.
But if you can't have them as friends, it's okay to have them as acquaintances. Because you need to make sure you understand where that line is.
Yes.
There are acquaintances and then there are friends.
I would also like to just encourage everybody to please tweet Rachel Nichols and tell her that she's a trash human.
And you can tweet ESPN too and let them know
she's
that what they did was wrong. It was so wrong. In fact, what I heard last night from my girl, that in the Phoenix game, none of the Phoenix players would talk to Rachel Nichols. They would not. They would. She got no interviews with them. And see, that's what
has to happen. That's what has to happen.
I'm for everybody.
Hi, yes, it's Rachel Nichols. Yeah, okay, bye.
As Issa Rae said, who are you cheering for tonight? Everybody black?
Yeah.
Everybody black.
Oh, you that bitch that was. Oh, okay. Anyway. So who can I talk to besides this person right here?
Mm-mm.
Please.
That's a no.
People used to tell me when I first moved here that, like, so I had a habit, I guess, being in New York, and this was probably the people that I hung around, that if there was somebody who was getting on my nerves, even if they were in front of me, I'll be like, oh, you talking about this person?
Mm-hmm.
And people out here were like, oh, that's so mean. So mean. I'm like, no, it's not. I'm like, I am actively aggressive. I'm not passively aggressive. I'm like, this one right here is acting up, and you need to tell her to get out of my face.
I think one of the worst ones I've ever done is while somebody was talking to me, I did this.
What is wrong with you? You mean you were squishing their head?
While they were right in front of me, I was like,
No.
and of course, these folks know what that means. What was that thing where I squish your head?
Yeah, that was
Squishing
Kids in
your
the
head.
Hall.
Oh.
That is so terrible. But also, that's something that I do all the time. I'm like, please stop talking to
because
me.
there's nothing more to say. I now have wiped you out. Stop talking to me.
What me and Peter recently have been going around, like when we see white people in this neighborhood, we just shake our head and like, mm-mm.
You mean they're walking along?
Yes, just
minding their business.
like,
Oh no.
Because listen.
You may need a light bulb one day.
For what?
I don't know.
Mom, all the light bulbs you gave me? No.
I used to work for GE. I got lots of light bulbs of all kinds.
I'm cool on light bulbs.
But y'all paid $4. What for? I paid a nickel.
Yeah.
I got light bulbs
light
in more
bulb.
cupboards.
Please. Yeah, no, he was like,
all right,
we
let's
should
borrow
do that.
a cup or something.
Yeah, no. That's what Instacart's for.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, because I'm just like, listen, because it's.
Well, why are you intimidating the white people? Just they minding their
because they need to feel it.
Because
they need to feel it.
Okay.
Listen. I don't know who put that sign on that little note on my Wu-Tang sign.
What they put on your sign?
Can you please turn the volume down? Like on the sign. Oh no, I will never forgive that. So until then, everybody's a suspect. Everybody's in this neighborhood is a suspect. So I'm just like,
they touched your shut. Yeah,
yes, they did. And it was very passive aggressive and it was very, very wrong.
We had to move to a place with a gate. We had to.
Big
gate, because I remember one day and we lived at Toluca Lake and it was a walkable neighborhood. And I'm in my house minding my business and somebody rang the bell. And I opened the door and I swear to you, it was a crackhead. I was like,
oh yeah, I remember that. That was a crackhead.
Yeah,
you were like, there's a crackhead at the door.
And he was like,
no, that was a rare instance.
Yeah, you got any cars I could wash? I could wash your cars for you. I looked at him, I said, I stepped outside of my door and closed the door behind me. I said, let me ask you a question. He looked at me, I said, was there something out there on that gate that made you think you could come in here and ring this bell?
Was this a black person? I do remember that.
And he looked at me and I said, what about,
come on, sister?
I said, what about that gate made you think that this was welcoming? And he just looked at me. I said, you need to get the fuck off my property. He was like, well, I said, so let me see. I said, I closed the door because the people inside don't need to hear this exchange. But in a minute, I'm going to go back in the house.
And tell us anyway.
And then it's going to be, and he looked at me. I said,
get out of here.
That same gate you opened to get in, go back out and don't use that gate ever again. Don't come back on this property.
Okay, see, you got a crackhead. When I lived there, I was standing at the top of the stairs by that little window with the seat, and I seen these white people open the gate, like a whole white family with their dog. Open the gate.
Were they Jehovah's Witnesses?
No. Open the gate.
Whoa.
And walk around touching flowers. I went downstairs. I was like, excuse me. I was like, why are you touching my flowers? She was like, oh, well, it's just so beautiful. We just wanted to come in. I was like, that gate was closed. This is my house. I don't want you touching, with your grimy hands touching my flowers. She was like, oh, well, I'm sorry. I was like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Please, goodbye. Get out of here. No. I was like, no. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, who? I'm just like, seriously, these white people around here. I'm like, y'all be doing stuff that will get you killed. And that's why I have been provoking them.
That's why you walked down the street just looking at them, shaking your head.
Like,
Okay. If I walked down the street in my neighborhood, I may try that.
No, because I'm just saying that way they already know that you are
a black woman.
Right. And then they won't come up to you and be like, oh my God, how long have you lived here?
Oh, I was
That's what I'm
outside
trying to tell you. Why you
before
going
the
crazy?
pandemic. I was out getting my mail out of the mailbox outside.
You forgot the most crucial part of the story. Minding my business.
Well, that's always my case.
No, I'm saying that's how black people is like. First of all, I was minding my
Because
business.
I'm very as part of my nature, I'm very unfriendly. But you all know that I'm very unfriendly. I'm not the approachable person. So I was out there
I am now.
getting my mail, and a couple of two. They were a couple. They were a couple. A
Right.
couple males, white males. They were like, "Oh, do you live here?"
Oh.
And I just stared at them. I mean, is this your house? How long have you lived here?
Get away from me.
Your house is so nice. And I
know that.
I put my mail in my little bag that I go out to get it in, and I just looked at them, and I turned around and I closed.
You gotta shake it. You know, I'm telling you, like they feel that when you like, hi, because they're just like, oh my God, what's I do wrong?
I'm outside. I'm just ringing your bell because I've walked past, and your house is so lovely.
Well, that's what I'm saying,
and that's why now the hedges go up to the sky.
This is what I'm trying to tell you.
The hedges go
because
the hedges are like
it's
this.
the same people who want to put Black Lives Matter on their house who are Rachel Nichols. You know what I'm saying? Like on real. And that's why I walk around shaking my head because I'm just like, you already know. I'm like, you already know. You already know you messed up.
Of Diane Sawyer, the doyen of ABC News, who once
you said a doyen,
who once was a speechwriter for who? Richard Nixon. Ugh. They let white people hop back and forth.
These are trash people. These are such trash people.
They let white people hop back and forth across the line like you would not believe. That's a journalist. How many of y'all know the very stately and classy Diane Sawyer?
Hold up. Was this the same woman who asked Whitney Houston if she did crack?
Well, there you go.
You know what? No. And now I'm happy that Whitney went off on her. Now I'm happy that Whitney was like, I don't do crack.
Like it's like it all comes from
crack is whack.
All will be revealed. Yep.
How dare she ask Whitney Houston if she did crack?
That is her daughter-in-law who's sitting there telling Mr. Mendelsohn, who is a consultant to LeBron James.
Is he a consultant anymore? Did he get?
I have seen zero criticism of Mr. Mendelsohn.
Oh,
zero.
LeBron,
okay?
You better get it together.
I've seen zero.
You better get it together, LeBron.
Okay, none. Right. So what's it? Space Jams 2? What's
Space Jams?
Right.
Space Jam 2.
So Space Jam 2. This is the man who's the spokesperson and is setting up media, whatever, for that thing, because he's Mr. Mendelsohn. And she's lamenting how
I can't believe these niggas out here.
How they let her in and not at my expense.
At her
I really am tired of this. I mean, this is fatiguing. It's so tiring.
Oh, I'm so tired.
Mr. Mendelsohn says, because this Black Lives Matter thing is so tiring.
I'm so tired of it. I mean, when this white woman said at my expense, it reminds me of
those were my words, but that was her sentiment.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It reminds me of what's his name? That crazy white man who's a Supreme Court justice now, and he started ranting and raving and acting up after it was found out that he raped that woman in college.
Oh, yeah, him.
It was like, I don't understand why this is my job.
Right.
I'm like, well, maybe.
Right.
But you a rapist.
He's
so
got like an Anglo name, not Stevenson, but something like that.
Whack. His face looked like Mr. Potato Head. Well, yeah, let's tweet LeBron and ask him. LeBron.
Look up Mr. Mendelssohn's first name.
Okay, hold on.
Because he is getting no heat.
Yeah, well, he's about to get some heat.
Getting that Mr. Mendelsohn is not getting any heat.
What's the name of LeBron's company?
Spring Hill.
Oh, I typed in Mendelsohn and LeBron and some came up. LeBron,
that's his advisor, his PR advisor. I'm exhausted.
Between Me Too and Black Lives Matter, report shows. Okay. Well, you know what?
What's his first name? Mendelson.
Adam Mendelsohn. Hold on, I'm putting in the chat. Adam
Mendelsohn.
MENON SHON.
That's him.
That's him. So
white girl,
oops, sorry.
Ms. Nichols,
right.
the daughter-in-law of the doyen, former speechwriter of Richard Nixon, is lamenting. She thinks privately to Adam Mendelsohn, who is the PR lead for LeBron James, who I have much respect for.
Also, we have the same birthday.
Who? You and LeBron? Okay. And that was his statement that Imani read. That was his comment on this video. And again, I'm going to say the only person who suffered retribution before last week is the Black woman
who was the victim of all of this.
Who worked at ESPN, who told Maria Newman, let me show you this tape.
Right.
They demoted her from the job she had to, I'm totally going to make this up, but let's say her job became going to get coffee. Right. And she quit about 2 weeks later, because who wouldn't? Right? Now, that's the woman who should be finding an attorney. That's who should be finding an attorney. If she don't already have one, and I hope she does.
I'm sure she does.
Well, don't be sure, because a lot of people, they sign a release, get some paltry pennies, and they sign a release pledging that they will not speak about it. No. So I don't know the circumstances. I don't know all of the, whereas and what fors that happened upon her departure, but that frequently happens. Listen, when I worked at NBC, there are all these women who had complaints about sexual harassment. Oh, checks were flying and they were signing. Okay, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm like,
trash human, just like, hold on. I said to LeBron James, I said, so what's up with Adam Mendelsohn? He's still working for you or not? That man is a trash human, just like Rachel Nichols. You guys probably don't know this, and you can't even find it anyway, so ha ha ha. But back in the day, I used to, no one's surprised, but I was a Twitter vigilante. So anytime anybody did something like super racist, like remember that woman who got fired when she took she got fired on the way to South Africa?
Oh yeah.
So she
texted before she left, and by the time she landed, she was out.
They quoted me in the New Yorker and all this other stuff because I was just like, you're a trash human.
So here's another good part of this, right? ESPN, ABC News, ABC Entertainment, all owned by the same corporation.
Right.
Bob Iger is the chairman, kind of, until this dude, Bob, I think his name is Chapit, comes in. Bob Iger would have been gone already, but COVID happened and the board got all nervous, so they asked him to stay on till the end of the year. Now, you remember what happened at ABC News, where the white woman, Barbara Fadita, referred, when speaking about Robin Roberts, Robin Roberts,
right,
the Black woman, the sister who's the anchor on Good Morning America, she referred to her in this way. Well, at least, what is Robin Roberts complaining about? At least we didn't ask her to pick no cotton. That's one.
I just don't understand. Has Vivian never been slapped across the face before? I just don't.
I'm going to make a point here. So that's Barbara Fadita and Robin Roberts. What she said about Candace Gibson is,
Candace.
Right. Well, we pay more for toilet paper than we pay him in salary. Okay.
I like Candace. He's
really nice. So now what has happened is this shit blows up. ABC, there's so much more, but ABC News has to finally get rid of Barbara Fadita, right? So just put Barbara Fadita here.
I mean, that raggedy white
News in this. Then let's go back to ABC Entertainment at the time when 4 Black women in a row left,
right,
including Channing Dungey, who was at the tippy top, right, and who's now running. Is it over at Netflix?
No.
Well, Channing Dungey is big, and she's the one who, along with working for the Black woman, Shonda Rhimes,
Okay.
right? So they all leave, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they referred to themselves as, the sisters referred to themselves as the help, because that's how they felt they were being treated over at ABC Entertainment. Now let's go to ESPN, which we just finished talking about ESPN.
Right.
And the dude at the tippy top, Bob Iger, Barbara Fadita, Bob Iger, and Bob Iger's wife, Willow Bay, are all good buddies.
Of course.
Willow Bay was even in Barbara Fadita's wedding party.
You talking about Willow Bay that she mixed?
Willow Bay's not mixed. Willow Bay's the big, tall, blonde woman who was a model,
okay.
who I still don't know how Willow Bay got to be that. But Willow Bay was a sports commentator,
right?
Either on ABC Sports or ESPN. I can't remember. But I was on the advisory board for the Annenberg School at USC.
Okay.
For 2 administrations, and I walked when they announced Willow Bay was coming in as
Where
dean.
are her lips?
She came in as dean of the journalism and School of Communications. Because why?
Look, she looked like
that would be because her husband is Bob Iger at the tippy top of ABC, all of it, and who contributes what to whom. So when this girl, Rachel Nichols, I'm bringing it back to the beginning. When Rachel Nichols complains because Maria Newman is not qualified, and certainly not as qualified as she is, because she's got the credentials.
Right.
Your credentials are your mother-in-law and your dead father-in-law. Let's just be clear, because these are the people who socialize with each other.
Right.
We don't socialize we're not in that crowd.
Right.
So when you want to say whatever, and I'm only telling all of this so you all fully understand, DeMario Bell said that guy's name was Kavanaugh, the Supreme Court Justice. So, this is just all about, keeping everybody up to speed. Let's just, do a little education, homework.
If y'all go to my Twitter account, you can see what I tweeted. Y'all can retweet it. You can, you can retweet it and add whatever you want to say. You can copy it verbatim. I don't care. But I'm just like, you can also walk around wherever you live and just shake your head at white people like I've been doing.
That's a private war, and I get it. No,
I'm saying I just feel like they need to feel uncomfortable too, all the time.
I'm saying that these are things that have happened on the record. This is stuff that's happened on the record, and what is not happening is a cohesive explanation of who all these people are and what's going on, and how we end up being on the downside.
Yeah, but I'm not saying y'all, but I'm saying, but we want to talk about Bill Cosby and NBC. I'm like, stop. Like, this is stupid.
And my final thing before I think it's time for you to go eat.
Yeah.
Is that Bill Cosby is trying to book a comedy tour.
Oh, I already know. No, he's trying to book. No, look. The same day. Okay, let's back up. When we found out that Bill Cosby was getting out, not only was he on his way home, right? Like he was like, they were like, oh yeah, Bill Cosby's out. I was like, what do you mean he's out? Like usually they'll tell you,
because they don't
oh, this person's going to. No, they'll usually say this person's going to be released on this day. Right. No, he was already on the way home.
Right.
Then when I looked to see like what's happening, like in the moment, he throwing up peace signs to the helicopter that of course is taking photographs of him. Then an hour later I hear
he's booking a comedy tour.
A comedy tour. He wanna write a book about his ordeal and something else. I was like, nobody.
I don't know if it was Caroline's or some comedy club in New York. It was like, not only no, but hell no.
Yeah, like get out of here.
No,
like you're gross, dude. Like
what is he going to say that's going to make up? I mean, much of his comedy got to a point where it was kind of wry humor. Like you go, oh yeah, okay, all right. It wasn't like throw your head back and laugh back in the days of
Back
Fat
in the
Albert
day.
and stuff. Right. Back in the day, it was about his brother Russell and Fat Albert and all of that stuff. He then got to trying to be a pseudo Dick Gregory. I don't know if you remember that. He was trying to be.
Of course, I remember that. He was telling people to pull their pants up and
Yeah.
stop naming your kids all
Right.
kinds of
But
crazy
Dick Gregory
names.
didn't do that. Dick
No.
Gregory was a brother who was down for the cause.
No,
But
Dick Gregory had that drink.
yeah, he became a vegetarian and very trying to convince black people to, straighten up and stop.
I'm
being
on that
whatever.
Dick Gregory. That was from House Party. It was. I mean, well,
I just want to say I think that I grew up in a fascinating era.
I think I grew up in a fascinating
I grew
era
up in
too.
a
I don't know what these
fascinating
people out
era.
here are doing. I feel really.
Oh, finally, this final. Did you see Summer of Soul?
I saw part of it,
Oh my God.
but I didn't know. First of all, I'd never heard of it.
Me neither.
Second of all, I was like, "Where is this?"
It's Mount Morris Park.
Right.
So I lived about a mile away, and I was like, "Why did I not go to that?" In fact,
I was like, "Why didn't you know?"
So my girls and I, all of us, right? Because at that point we were finishing junior year in high school, going into senior year, right? We were like, how could we have not known? And Sherry and Lisa lived less than a mile away from there. I lived a little over a mile away. What we concluded was that was probably the summer we were being super revolutionaries.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say
Right.
like hoes.
I was never a super hoe.
There's some hoes in this house.
No.
There's some hoes
Even
in
when the
this
phrase
house.
among the brothers, as espoused by the Black Panthers, was the only position a woman can have in the revolution is a prone one. I was like,
Shut up.
you know what?
No.
So that was summer we were being revolutionaries, and we were probably more hanging out in the village in Columbia University than we were over Mount Morris Park listening to music, no matter how good the music was. But we weren't.
I mean, I'm just like, but it was 5 weekends or something.
Yeah, but not. It was gospel,
Right.
blues,
Right.
like R&B.
They had
right. So they probably had like 2 R&B weekends. Now I could have and should have found time to do that. But remember, this was the era of the first Earth Day. All kinds of stuff.
Well, it was the same summer as Woodstock too. So
Well,
you probably was like, I'm not doing right. I'm not doing all that. Oh, also before we leave, I just want to say RIP to Mac from Night Court. He died yesterday.
You mean the judge? Oh, the brother?
Mac. Yeah, Mac.
Oh,
I know.
he used to. Didn't he used to be in Hogan's Heroes? Was that him?
I don't know. I've heard of the show. I never watched it. But Mac died. RIP.
Wait, let me see. Mac from
Night Court, which I was gonna actually start watching because I'm watching this. I'm watching Resident Evil.
Charlie Robinson
on Netflix. It's good. I mean, it's not really scary to me. It's just zombies kind of running around and yelling at people.
See if he was also on
Hogan's Heroes.
I think he was.
Was that like MASH?
He's best known. It was like MASH.
Oh. Well,
I can't.
Early career. Maybe if you click on that.
Native of Houston.
What's up, Kodos Tropical?
He was with Archie Bell and the Drells.
Oh.
Tighten up.
Oh, I did not know that.
I'm Archie Bell and the Drells.
I didn't know that.
That's what it said. Oh my God.
Well, R.I.P. Charlie Robinson.
He was with the Southern Clouds of Joy. I heard of them too.
I don't know who that is, but R.I.P. to Mac. R.I.P. Charlie Robinson.
Oh yeah.
That's sad. But you know what?
You had Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, The Game, Touched by an Angel.
He was on everything.
Antoine Fisher, but so he must not have been on Hogan's Heroes. He was on the Bernie Mac show.
I mean, he was just like, what's her name? Suzanne.
She was my friend, you know.
Was she? I loved her. She was so pretty.
Suzanne Cobb.
That her name?
Well, her husband's name is Cobb. Suzanne, not Johnson Cobb.
Robinson?
No. We hung out at the Delta Nationals and Suzanne Douglas Cobb. And the last time I saw her, she and Daphne Reed.
You talking about Tim Reed wife?
Uh-huh.
You talking about second on this?
We ran into each other in the elevator. And they were like, Paula, where you going? Because I had, I was like, where you going? I said, I'm going to get a Chinese foot rub. What? Going to get a Chinese foot rub. We were in Vegas. And they were like, where is that? I said, I got it. It's a cab about 10 miles from here. And they were like, well, what is that? I said, it's like a foot spa. And it only costs like, $25. Well, can we go? I said, all right, listen, y'all. Y'all can go, but you have to meet me at the taxi stand in 20 minutes. We can do that. I said, girl, you can't do anything in 20 minutes. And if you're not there in 20 minutes, I'm leaving you.
I have to eat.
They were like, okay. So wait, so Suzanne kept asking, but I don't understand. What is a foot rub? I said, that's a massage. Oh, they're gonna massage my whole body. You can get a massage for your whole body, but this is a foot rub. They put your feet in the hot water. They do whatever, massage. We get there. I said to her, wear loose clothes. Don't be wearing the leggings because they gotta, get to your legs and whatever. When we were in this place having the foot massages, all we heard was, oh, and she's at the, I was like, what is that?
Making all that noise?
She said, oh my God, it's so good. And all she kept doing was singing at the top of her lungs. And the whole place was cracking up. She was in ecstasy. I have never had anything like this before. Oh my God, Paula, promise me, whatever city we're in, you're going to take me with you. I said, I promise you, whatever city I'm in, I'm going to take you. And turns out she was on Martha's Vineyard. She has a house on Martha's Vineyard. She was there when I was there a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, that's, well,
I didn't know.
Her too.
But she had the sister who used to be her assistant call me because I was on a list of people who she wanted to know before it was made publicly announced that she died. And I was messed up for about 2 days. I was at home it's so anyway, for all of my Delta sorors out there, they're gonna announce the Omega service sometime in the next couple of weeks.
A what?
Omega.
What is that?
It's like a memorial.
Okay. Well, RIP to Suzanne Douglas.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta go eat. Like I'm
eat.
really hungry. But y'all stay up and y'all have a great rest of your week and do yourself a favor and go berate a white person.
No, don't do that.
Please do that.
No, don't
Please
do that. And see y'all next week. Because what's going to start happening is the little promo things between Imani and Brandon. They will decide what are the little promo things to make sure you'll know we live. Because look, COVID.
Okay, all right.
Wait, COVID is kind of over.
Okay, but I'm hungry now.
COVID is kind of over, so
Bye,
people have things to do. So we probably are not going to be around every Monday just because the world is opened up and there's just stuff.
So we'll do it like every other week or something.
Right, but we'll let y'all know. Look for the.
I have to eat. I'm hungry and I ran 3.5 miles today. Okay.
Did you see the look I gave her? Side eye.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm hungry. Like, I gotta go.
You're always hungry.
You're always thirsty. Bye.